Welcome to my makeup, literally everyday makeup routine. I'm about to get ready to go to the pub with some friends. I'm currently wearing this dress, currently have no makeup on, so yeah, fresh faced. And I'm basically gonna run you through the whole thing and then also have asked you guys some questions on Instagram just so I can like reply to them and do 2 in 1. Let me get up the questions. Okay, so firstly, I often like, if I'm going out for the whole day, seeing friends and stuff, I'll use a little primer. Any standard one, to be honest. I was gifted this one. And it just, especially on nights out, holds your makeup in place for so much longer. So before this, I put on, this is Paula's Choice, like exfoliate and... exfoliant. It won't take, by the way. And I find it has like helped smooth out like all my skin, any like skin sort of color differences and stuff. I'm quite fortunate in that I don't really like get many spots and things like that, but in terms of like face stuff, I would highly recommend this. Done the primer, then first thing I do after that is foundation. I used to start by doing my concealer before my foundation. However, watching like people do these sort of things on YouTube, they put on their concealer after their foundation, and I found that actually has held my foundation in place more. So my mirror is just down here. God, I'm really bad at this. I'm using, the number 5 honey shade foundation. It's like my go-to. So it looks like this. And yeah, lasts along like quite a lot on the day. I was using the Charlotte Tilbury one, but the Charlotte Tilbury one I found oxidized like throughout the day. So my face will get like progressively more orange, natural. So you can wear it every day, but like if I'm going out, I'll go quite heavy on it. And then I just literally use one of these spongy things to dab it around. Makeup really is not my forte, so this is sort of just, I've created this makeup routine over the years and like changed and added certain things, but so onto questions actually, so I can do some of these. What's your job and what did you study? So my job is online coaching and Instagram, and I love it. It means I'm self-employed at 23, which is quite scary, I'm not gonna lie, and it is stressful and it is a lot of stress and pressure on yourself. However, I've always been a very like determined person that is like can stick to routine and is very disciplined, and that's why I find that job works very well for me. I've actually studied history at Durham, and then I went on to do a master's in art history in lockdown. I'm not doing anything related to it now, so if you're like studying at uni and stuff, things can happen in life where my plan was originally to go into like art auctioning, which I'm not doing and I don't think I will ever do. And here we are. Like put a bit on, I'm gonna add a little bit more just on here. So we've done the foundation and I'm just gonna add on the concealer. Now this concealer I've used for years because my sister many years ago told me it's like the NARS one. It is the Maybelline Fit Me, I think. I've managed to somehow scrape off all the writing, which I find is like quite a good balance between my foundation, my skin color, all of that. It's kind of running out at the moment. I do need to get a new one, so not going to say in all its glory, but when I say it's the best foundation I've ever used, I mean concealer I've ever used, I really mean it. I'll go under the eye, and then I'll sometimes get like these little bits in the nose here, because I find they can get a bit red sometimes. And then again, just sort of dabbing and blending it in with the foundation, and also kind of put it onto my eye lightly as well, so I kind of get like a little base covering of foundation in my eye. Concealer done. Obviously I'll put powder so it will even all out a bit as well. My face looks so weird because I've got no other makeup on. Recently I've started doing like my eyes and stuff before I do my eyebrows, because like how heavy and big my eyes are, that kind of determines how much I do on my eyebrows. So Mascara. This was one of the questions I got. What mascara do I use? I mean, I'm quite fortunate in that I've always just had quite long eyelashes. I mean, you can't really see here because they're like blonde on the ends. But I do, I mean, Rimmel Scandaleyes, I used to use religiously when I was younger. And then I've moved on to this one, Maybelline Falsies, is the one I use at the moment, which I find very good. Again, one's kind of running out. Because I'm going out to see friends, I'll put on a tiny bit of eyeshadow as well, just to do some like contouring. However, on my sort of everyday, if I'm like just working, I won't do that. Okay, I use Morphe eyeshadows. I tend to just go for like a sort of skin color shade. And yeah, I do apply this bit with my finger just because I actually find it much more effective than any sort of brush. So I'll go for like that, like just a neutral color on the eyes. And I will tend to just do some like browns. I like to use the like dark brown, light brown and red kind of just mixed together. And that's where I'll just sort of go into where my eye folds with the brown. And then I'll sort of like blend it out with a bit of red and brown there. But like keeping it very natural, especially in the day, because obviously my going out makeup, the face stays the same, but I just go heavy on the eyeshadow and do like more glittery and stuff. But in the day, I find there's nothing worse than like heavy eyeshadow in the day, and you can like see it when the light hits. So yeah, just keep it natural on the eyes. With the eyeshadow, this is a little trick I always do. So I'll draw out a little almost like cat eye thing like that. And then what I do is I go on like under my waterline here, just with a like reddy dark brown color. And then I also put some mascara on that. And I find by doing that, it makes my eyes like pop. And also it's then not so top heavy on the eyeshadow, like just on the top of my eye. Great, so that will be like my eyeshadow look. I'll probably blend this like a little bit. Can put on that mascara, which I just lectured you on and then didn't even put on my eye. And also answer some more of your questions. So what tips would you give that help grow your platform? Okay, one big thing I would say is like keeping it original, having something different to other people, but also like actually having informative posts, like not just posting a photo of you at the gym, like find a reason like why people should read the caption and save it. I follow a page if I'm going to get information that is going to like help me in my life. So that is sort of the approach I take with my page. And that's why I never really do like just a random gym selfie with like no caption or anything like that. Like happy Monday guys, I don't do that. I will always have something to say in the caption to sort of help people there. And related, how did I get to work with brands like My Vegan and stuff? Well, it's growing your page. I now like only work with My Vegan as like, oh God, protein brand. But yeah, they just, you grow it and then create stuff with their recipes and stuff. So your account is like on their radar, and then they'll just message you, ask you to be an ambassador. So, but yeah. When did you move away from home? Do you miss home / your family? Now like 5 years ago, I think, when I was 18. And I was sad to say goodbye, but I think I'm quite good at like adapting to like new surroundings. So yeah, and then when I moved up to London, I had lived at home in lockdown for so long, I was kind of like ready to go home, but also because my home is sort of an hour from London, so it's really easy for me to see my family, and they're sort of always round and about in London, so I do always miss them like so much, especially when I'm feeling like low and sad. But knowing that they're so close, I think really helps me, and staying in contact with them like throughout the week and stuff like that. Okay, question. Do you miss your older body / have you ever had regrets about recovery? No. So I did a post recently about like, what do if you miss your smaller body? To be honest, I really don't get that anymore, because I'm so far down the line in recovery. I think I can look at photos and be like, I know how unhappy I was, and also I no longer like see that as like desirable at all. Like even if I was happy like that, I wouldn't want to look like that, because I'm so like recovered and moved away from sort of wanting to be small and skinny and like strong and healthy, which I think is good. There's obviously still a lot of like room for improvement, but when I was growing up and younger, it would have been a lot harder to sort of escape all of that, whereas I feel like now it is quite a bit easier. It might just be my algorithm, I don't know, but yeah, that I definitely think helps as well, because I'm like, no, I would not want to go back there. So what was the switch that flipped that made you commit to recovery? It was actually in the first lockdown when I started following girls on Instagram that were like weight gain and like lifting, not even weight gain, to be honest, they were just lifting and strong and healthy. And I was like, oh my God, I want to be like that. I want to do that. And I guess because then I follow girls like that on social media, my algorithm sort of changed to be more like towards that sort of thing. And so I remember that was the flip switch moment where I came down in lockdown. I was like, right, I'm done with this for good, because like I'd suffered up at university, like almost relapsed. So it took my relapse to be like, okay, like screw this, I want to do this completely by myself. And I remember saying that to my mom and trying to like explain to her that I was really there. And I mean, I don't think she probably believed it at the time, because I probably said that so many times, but I remember in me, I was like, no, I really want to do this. And then like them getting a coach as well, obviously massively helped, because it was like having that accountability and like knowing I was doing the right thing. And then, yeah, so I would say I really did have a flip switch moment, and it was when we went into lockdown. Moving on to eyeliner, this is L'Oreal liquid liner, and I just do like a very, very thin line. So you can see my mascara now. Yeah, so this mascara is very nice, very good. So I'm gonna have to look in this mirror for this, because with the cat eye, it's just taken years of practice. Like I used to do it at school when I was 14. I remember I'd literally do it religiously every day. But I only make it really thin, because otherwise it can like make your eye actually look smaller. So if you see like this, I'm not sure if that's a good way of showing you it, but we now have to replicate it on the other eye, trust me, to actually mess it up. Okay, that one's not like as slick, but yeah, I do it so it just kind of adds to my eyes rather than drowns them in liquid liner. So that's sort of my eyes done. I will, however, often put a little bit of like highlight just in the corner, like that, to just make them like pop that bit more. And then yeah, that is my eyes done, and then move on to like base powder and like contour bits and stuff like that. So I go like with a little, just literally any sort of white setting powder, like under my eye here, this is just a random one. Just to sort of take the shine out from under the eye, like that. And then I use Benefit like all on my face. So I have this like palette here, and it's the Hoola bronzer I've just used my whole life. And I just put that sort of lightly everywhere, like so all my face like all the same color. And then what I'll do here with the Hoola, I'll then just go in a bit deeper, like around my cheekbones, like that. And then yes, I sort of draw a line and then blend it all like this. And then I get a sort of like slightly lighter, more pinky one, and go in like that. And then this stuff is game changing. It's the NARS liquid blush. And if you're gonna get anything from NARS, I would highly like say this. I mean, my makeup really isn't expensive except for this. And then I smile, because you smile and then you just put it in like the like squidgy bits of your cheeks basically. And that's sort of like a guideline I use for blush. And then literally just dab it in. And a little bit of highlight, just like here, just dab it. Bit on the nose, bit on the upper lip too. A little bit on my nose, like the bridge of my nose here too. So yeah, that is sort of like my face makeup done. And then I will just, because the blush can sometimes be a bit strong, so I'll just like blend it all in together like that. That was a bit on my lip, but basically like the bit in there. For my eyebrows, I use again Benefit like Browsings. It's just like a little brush like this with some, I don't use a pencil because I find, I definitely did that when I was younger and it was, for me it was like too strong. But firstly with this, I kind of use a mix of the gel and the powder. The powder's a bit more subtle. And then I kind of lift up my eyebrow and just like follow the line. Like fit, sort of like fill in the gaps where, like not making it too strong, but like up here on the arch, and then I kind of just bring my eyebrow like a bit longer than it normally is. Natural, like that's the difference. I just kind of bring up the arch a bit more. Okay, more of your questions. I've just seen how did you get the mindset to recover? I'd say having like finding your why, having that determination, but also like it gets so much better with time. Like the more further in you to recovery you get, you start like actually seeing the benefits of it, actually like see yourself thinking about food less, going out, enjoying life. I think it's those moments which then kind of keep you on that track. So yeah, for me, I'd say it got more and more like towards like just going out, having fun with friends and realizing, oh my God, I wouldn't be able to do this without thinking about food the whole time. That really sort of kept me going on my journey and like saying yes to plans. And even though the ED voice was still like there, not letting it win and being able to like differentiate between, okay, that's like eating disorder voice, that's not like my actual thoughts. I'm actually gonna like challenge that and say yes to these plans and yes to this. The more you challenge the fear foods as well, like the easier and easier recovery gets. And that's why mental recovery is so important in my opinion as well. The little gel that I use, again, Benefit. I think it came as part of that eyebrow kit as well. Ooh, best quote you know. I think, everything happens for a reason.
That is literally our mantra.
It is so true because like, okay, I went through like awful thing, like, you know, I went through my eating disorder and stuff, but it wouldn't have led me to what I'm doing now and where I am today. And I think like, everything does literally like, you meet people for a reason, everything like that. And they teach you something. And I remember literally when I was going through my eating disorder, I remember thinking at the time, like really telling myself that quote and being like, okay, I'm going through this and I'm like going through the recovery process because like it will bring me somewhere like where I need to be in life in the end. So, you know, it's how using that quote to make like the best out of a really, really crappy situation and just sort of realizing that there is a light over there at the end of the tunnel and there is a reason why stuff is happening to you and you just grow from it and come out stronger. And then I've literally just put Vaseline on my lips, just to give them a bit of color. And then put a little bit of highlight up in my eyebrows as well. I tend to like flick up my eyebrows a tiny bit too. Like with this, you can see like I kind of just go a bit like woo. But not like major spikes, but like big spikes. But yeah, so this, the final look. So yeah, you can see like natural eyeshadow, bit of eyeliner, mascara, and then face stuff and eyebrows and all the rest. But yeah, didn't manage to get to answer all your questions, so I will actually do a bigger Q&A, but I hope this helps because I've had so many like requests. I'll put all the links and names of stuff in the caption of my makeup, but I hope this is somewhat helpful and at least I can give some of my like vague weird makeup tips I've picked up in life to you. So send you all the love and have a lovely day.